What's up, everyone? This is episode 42 of Shoebooty Sports. That's the Jackie Robinson episode for you folks keeping up at home. Ladies and gentlemen, Shoebooty Sports is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, a marathon, and the Rhino Ultra. You can register for all 5 races there on the website. One, two, or five, all 5. It's up to you. You can sign up today, run your race at your convenience, track it with your fitness app. Yeah, screenshot your results, submit it there on the website at rhinoraces.com and receive your award by mail. Free shipping on all orders. Also, check out their gear section. They have t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. Rhinoraces.com. Also, you can find Shoebooty Sports on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter at Shoebooty Sports. So the Field of Dreams game was last Thursday. It was Thursday. It was the Cubs and Reds. Throwback unis. Reds unis look clean. I like the Cubs ones too. The Cubs unis look sharp. But it was. Did you see the game?
I did not get to see any of it. No.
Missed it. What sports have you watched this week? We'll just start with that.
Nothing from Thursday through Sunday.
Okay, because I feel like the answer is 80% nope, didn't see it. But it's okay. We can still talk about it. It was not as good of a game as last year's, but you weren't going to top last year's game. Last year's game was a full-on classic between the White Sox and Yankees. It was a very stereotypical Major League Baseball game, modern Major League Baseball game, the way I see it today. Dominant pitching, a little bit of hitting here and there. Now early on there was lots of hitting involved. The Cubs were lighting up the tall lefty, I believe it was, for the Reds, but Cubs ended up winning at 4-2. Drew Smiley got the win for the Cubs. Of course, that name sticks out to us being.
I used to work with that guy.
What, at Slim's?
Yeah, at Slim's. He worked there he worked there for like 2 months over a summer.
I believe we talked about this.
Yeah, I didn't believe that he was a pitcher for the Hogs. So.
Well, he played well Thursday night, picking up the win, 4-2 win by the Cubbies. At the very beginning of the game, of course, it's become an event. The Field of Dreams game has become like an event, and it'll probably be like an annual thing, as it should be. Baseball needs to constantly find ways to stay fresh and, appeal to anyone.
Yeah.
But they, of course, last year they had Kevin Costner there and all sorts of other things. And this year they started it off with Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. coming out of the cornfield. And of course, they're mic'd up, and Griffey Jr. is like, "Hey, Dad, want to have a catch?" And so it's like, okay, this is a great setup. The person putting this thing together, writing it out, like, yeah, this is going to be a great way to kick off the game. Of course, they go about, I don't know, 15 feet apart, maybe. And Griffey tosses one, and Senior's got his glove on. He awkwardly does this at it, like my niece when she first got her softball glove a little over a year ago, and drops it. And I was like, that kind of puts a damper on it a little bit, but it's still a dope moment. Griffey Jr. and Senior having a catch, and then of course everybody comes out of the field or kids and all this stuff, various family like type of setting, and then the players come out. So it was cool. I think I saw that tickets were, oh gosh, 900, and it was either 930 or $960.
It's more in the World Series ticket. Like, what the heck? Of course, It is only one game and not a series of games, but I don't know. That's what else you want to do with your money. Yeah.
What else are you gonna do in that place in Iowa? Can't even tell you the town, but
nothing. Look at corn.
It's an event. I mean, that's what it is. It's an event, something you can talk about. But yes, that's a lot of money. I'll just watch it on TV. But it was a very stereotypical modern Major League Baseball game from what I saw. Not as big as last year, but I still watched it till the end. Played on my phone some at times, of course, because I just couldn't stay intrigued in a game that I don't want to say boring, but it wasn't exciting.
It's one-sided.
Well, the Reds made a run late. They made a run late because it was like 4-0. And I want to say the Reds, scored too late and threatened late, but just couldn't get it together. Like Joey Votto he had a few really good hits. It was like me in high school baseball that was just right at somebody. So, but it was, I don't know, it was a good game. It was, but it was nothing like the classic last year. But you weren't going to live up to that. It was like last year's was meant to be. Last year's was meant to be this just epic game to kickstart the thing into an annual gig. So we'll see what happens from here on. But we'll jump to football now. Touching up on the Deshaun Watson
right around the
situation a little
corner.
bit. Yes, it is.
Right around the corner.
I'm guessing Deshaun Watson's probably going to miss more than 6 games. Of course, the NFL appealed, but I'm guessing they're wanting him to sit an indefinite suspension, at least wanting a year, and a hefty fine. But if that's the case, assuming that will be the case, because I'm going to guess he's going to miss more than 6 games. He'll miss closer to a year when it's all said and done than 6 games. And if you're the Browns, do you go after Jimmy Garoppolo? Because that's been kind of the word going around.
If they have the money to go after him, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. What are the 49ers wanting in return? It's but here's the thing though. If he gets that big sign-on bonus if he's on the team by the start of the season, right? So
Yeah.
I think Cleveland knows that. They're kind of in the 49ers are kind of in what the Brown situation was in as far as Baker Mayfield. People weren't going to give up a lot for him because they knew, like, well, he's not going to stay on the team. You're not going to want to pay him that money. I mean, Cleveland had to pay part of Baker's salary to get him to Carolina. But as far as Jimmy G goes, yeah, if it makes sense, make the deal because the Browns are in win now mode. They've got a squad.
Yeah.
They're not the Rams or anything like that, but they're in win now mode. This is as good as it's going to get for the Cleveland Browns, especially since we've seen them. So depending on so you don't want to go into 17 games with Jacoby Brissett as your starter for the whole year. He can get you through 6 games, sure.
Yeah, not unless he has something we haven't seen before, but
we've seen
he
enough.
hasn't showed it.
Yeah. We've seen enough to know what we're going to get with him. He's a bridge quarterback. It's okay to do that. You can make a decent living doing that.
Yeah.
Chase Daniel has made like $41 million just sitting on the bench. So you can make a career out of that. Speaking of backup quarterbacks, though, I saw Brandon Allen a little bit the other night in preseason action. He wasn't out there long. He handed the ball off a few times. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, speaking of former Hog quarterbacks, you seen where they're playing Felipe Franks at tight end?
I did see that. I did see that they were moving him to tight end, and he's apparently doing well at it.
Really good, yeah.
So I haven't seen him play.
Yeah, if they have him and Pitts running around to the tight end, I'd figure that'd be good. Probably open up and give Pitts more option this year. So,
well, it gets Felipe Franks on the field. I mean, that's just how I see it. I don't know that he'll be a big time tight end. Was he? I mean, was he real fast?
What if he's right behind like number 3 on fantasy in production this year?
That would be wild. I would like to know what the odds were on. That was not an odds, I'm guessing.
Oh no!
If Vegas had
but
that,
I thought what would be hilarious.
That would be pretty hilarious. Yeah. Every year, something weird though happens in fantasy. There's always this person nobody saw coming that lights up the league. It happens every year. Yeah, or David Johnson.
Johnson, yeah, he lit it up.
Yes, he was the star of my team the year that we beat your team in the championship.
Yeah, and then I got him the next year, and he got injured in
Yeah,
like
he
week
was
2.
he was never the same after that year. I
Yeah.
got him that one year because I want to say I drafted him again in another league or something. I only did one. I want to say I got him again at some point, and he just wasn't the same guy. But yeah,
No.
he lit it up that year. But that happens every year. But that would be interesting. But yeah, if basically if I'm the Browns, if it makes sense, make the deal because he can. I mean, he's played in a Super Bowl. He's
Yeah.
a proven starter. He's not a superstar, but he's a lot better than what you have. But then again, you don't know how healthy he is. You don't know about the shoulder. You don't know how it's healing up. You don't. Yeah, nobody's seen him throw.
Nobody's even heard from him, right? Don't he ghost the team in the offseason?
I want to say that was like after he signed his contract.
I think it's been this season too, like this offseason too.
Probably because he knows he's on the way out. So yeah, I want to say he was out of practice, like in training camp, but he was just walking the sideline, I think signing an autograph or two, but that was about it. So basically, yeah, if you're the Browns, make the deal if it makes sense. But if they're just if anything, just sit back and wait. Jacoby Brissett can get you through the first portion of the season. And if something opens up to where he's available and you can get a better deal for it, then make the trade. Be patient. Why not? Jacoby Brissett can get you through 6 games and a little more if you have to. But yeah, through a whole season, I don't know that you're going to make the playoffs with that.
Probably not.
I would bet not. But we will touch up on golf a little bit now. Ty, have you touched or seen much of this at all? The Tiger Woods and Ricky Fowler among the tour players arriving in Wilmington, Delaware today, I believe it is, which is where the BMW Championship is.
Yeah.
Meeting meeting
I've
with
read some of it,
meeting with select number of players to discuss the future of the PGA Tour and how it might be strengthened in its ongoing battle with Live Golf for the best players in the world. It So tell me a little bit about it. I don't know. So like what are they doing? They're meeting with players or are they meeting with brass or are they what are
I
they
thought this was
discussing? What's
I
there to
thought this
discuss?
was I thought this was like a joint meeting or no, it I from what I only read like 2 things last night and it wasn't a whole lot. But I don't know, it was just pretty much getting the final say so on what exactly Live Golf if they're going to be able to play in the PGA tournaments or not. But it's pretty much no. But but hell, I
Well,
don't know. Like I said, I hadn't read a whole lot. I just seen something. You asked me if I had seen anything. I hadn't read
well,
anything
seen
really.
her. That's what I mean. Just heard it
No,
through anything. Yeah, like, you're the golf
no.
guy here.
I know, but yeah, yeah. I wish I could have watched the end of the FedEx tournament Sunday because apparently it was pretty wild. But I did not. My TV was messing up, so
Yeah, did you get that fixed by the way?
I did.
Okay, all right. All right, because I turned it on last night and it worked for me, but I had to do the whole whatever. We're gonna leave. We're not gonna discuss it further so that certain channels don't invade our privacy. But if they're listening to us, good deal. Uh, yeah, listen away, folks. But it was
Hit that subscribe button.
yeah, hit the subscribe button on that from that streaming people from that one streaming service that we're on. But it was see, here's the thing. From what I've read, they're like meeting with other players to discuss how to keep the best players in the world on the tour rather than them jump ship to Live Golf. But what are they going to do? And what's there to really discuss? Just hey, let's make it better for let's just offer more money. Maybe guarantee. I don't know how you guarantee money. I mean, Live Golf has done that, but Live Golf
uh,
essentially has endless funds too.
PGA could like cover like their cost of staying for the week or at tournaments and other stuff like that instead of the golfers relying on their sponsors to cover it.
The tour
I
could
mean,
clearly do better though than what they previously did because they magically all of a sudden had these
they can,
new
but
new
they're
funds.
making man, they're making like 20 times more than what they were in the 90s, dude. Like it's only built up, man. Like I don't know.
That's my point. So they had, it's basically been, from my understanding, kind of the same. I'm sure the purse has gotten a little bigger, but suddenly it was when Live Golf becomes a threat, it's, and these people are jumping ship, these other players, it's, hey, here's this added money and prize money and bonus money and all this stuff that magically appeared once Live became a threat. Like, where was this before? I mean, Live was started because the tour was
Mm-hmm.
flawed. It was a flawed system, and it
Well,
basically
PGA,
opened the
I
door for
mean,
somebody else to come in.
PGA also donates a shit ton of money too, man. Like Live Golf don't donate shit.
Yes, that, I mean, that's great and all, but you still got to, if you want to keep the best players in the world, you got to maybe donate some money to some of those players. Just a thought.
Well, players have to earn that money. If they want to go play on the fantasy tour, they can go ahead, go play on the fantasy tour and win trophies nobody cares about. They
I
got
don't,
paid.
but you're not really worried. They're not doing it for the trophies. They're doing it for
They're doing it for the money.
the, if somebody waved $100 million in front of me, that would,
Oh, I would
ooh,
take it, but I would tell you I did it for
yeah,
the money.
yes, and you made a good point last week, and we've touched up on that before about them saying, I need, I want more time off and all that. Uh, yeah, you're doing it for the money,
Yeah.
but then you want to come play in these events, and the two,
Now you're begging to play and more tournaments.
yeah, and
So
and
you
the
so you
tour
get the
said,
FedEx yeah.
like, you do this, you're off. You're banned from playing in our tournaments. So I get it. Did you hear what Live Golf offered Tiger Woods though?
Oh yeah.
It was set between like 700 and 800 million.
800 and yeah, about 800 million.
That's wild. I mean, just it's got to be, man, unlimited funds. Like, that's the thing. Their funds are essentially endless.
Yeah.
And Tiger just, of course, I don't know what Tiger has in the bank now. Is he a billionaire again? I
Oh,
don't even
yeah,
know.
he's a billionaire.
Because he was, and then he wasn't after the divorce and all that, and then his play dropped. But yes, I believe he
He still moves the needle in the golf world, so he he gets paid. And hell, last year they started they give like a bonus to the most influential golfer on tour. And of course it was Tiger and he won it without really playing. So
has anybody done it besides Tiger? Who's done it when Tiger hasn't gotten it?
they just
Phil,
started doing it. Yeah.
say, because it's been Tiger for the last 20 years. I don't know who else you'd put in there. Maybe Phil, but yeah, it's got to be Tiger. In other news, Zach Wilson's knee surgery was a success. He had a meniscus tear and bone bruise, and he had arthroscopic knee surgery. So no season-ending injury for the.
Well, they
Uh,
say in 6 weeks.
they haven't put a timeline on it, but the Cougar chasing quarterback, the Cougar chasing former Cougar of BYU, is not going to miss the entirety of the season. Probably be like 4 to 6 weeks, I would think. I didn't realize there was going to have to be a surgery involved, but obviously a very minor one. And also sticking with football, Antonio Brown had a post about his biggest regret when playing football, and did you know
Yeah,
what I'm
okay,
talking
yeah.
about?
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
His biggest regret was not being able to watch himself play, and he was not joking. It was a it was a very lengthy post, and I don't, did he say this or was it posted? Didn't he say this on a show, like a
It
radio
was
show or
yeah,
something?
it had quotes, so he said it.
And then I saw that he retweeted it and was probably with like a 100 emoji or something like that.
Yeah, well, probably two 100 emojis. So
Probably. But man, that was wild. He essentially said his biggest regret was not being able to watch himself play, like someone as talented as himself, getting to like sit back and watch him himself play. That's his biggest regret about football. And we all know Antonio Brown's history. It's far from squeaky clean. Didn't even suit up for the Raiders, like purposely got himself kicked out of Las Vegas. It was Vegas at the time. And now it worked you could say it was smart to an extent because he went and got a ring in Tampa.
Yeah.
But then he quit. I don't even remember. It was toward the end of the season, wasn't it? Or was it mid-season last year?
It was towards the end, I thought. Like, they still had like 3 games left. And this
Okay, I
dude's over
couldn't
there
remember.
doing jumping jacks on his hurt leg or ankle or whatever the hell it was on his way
And
out.
yeah, takes his pads off and just waves to the crowd there at whatever the name of Jet Stadium is. Do they all play at MetLife? Do they all play in the same one? I assume they do,
Yeah,
right?
they do.
Yeah. So that was with Antonio Brown's history and everything and his flaws, I would say. Got a sneeze come. Wow. All right. Didn't have my sneeze button ready. But the sneeze button and the cough button are essentially the same thing, I would think.
They're all the time out of reach, apparently.
Yeah, But that one snuck. I could feel it coming, but it hit me sooner than I thought it would. So that got me thinking with Antonio Brown's comments. Who is the biggest divas in the NFL history? Of course, they're all receivers.
T.O.?
Yeah, it's basically T.O. or AB. Who would you say was the bigger diva of the two? I'm I'm gonna say Antonio Brown, and
yeah.
that's not a prisoner of the moment comment.
No, I would say Antonio Brown. Like, T.O., I don't think ever like threw. I don't know. These like Antonio Brown's throwing more of along the lines of like fits. T.O. would just talk shit.
Well, T.O. would throw fits too. He would throw fits on the sideline. He was a clear cancer in the locker room in Philly. But
Did he get his dad to enter the conversation? Or no, that was Odell Beckham. Never mind.
Well, for me, the deciding factor is T.O. never quit on the team.
Yeah.
He never quit on the team, and again, say what you want about the dude, but the dude was always in impeccable shape. Like, took care of his body. Nobody ever saw a receiver built
He
like
slept
Terrell
in a
Owens.
hyperbolic chamber, man. Like every night.
Well, he's built like a linebacker, and he's crazy fast and bigger than any corner. He was essentially uncoverable.
Hell, he's still playing in arena football, right? Him and
I did see he caught
Johnny
a touchdown.
Football.
Yeah, a couple of months ago or whatever it was. But yeah, that's the difference to me. Of course, T.O. would have been king of the divas at wide receiver had it not been for Antonio Brown emerging as the new threat to that, which I've just decided he's overtaken him for that. Just because, like I said, T.O. never quit on his team. Again, he very divisive teammate, but he never quit on his team. Never gave less than 100% on the field from what I saw. I remember the Super Bowl. He's playing out there on one leg against the Patriots, and he just lit them up. I can't remember what his stats were, but it was ridiculous. Well over 100 yards, a touchdown or two, and showed up on a broken ankle essentially and just went out and did that. So it was just it was very Antonio Brown. I'd say it's weird, but nobody's surprised at this point. Speaking of surprises, what would be the biggest surprise in the NFL this season?
Lions win the Super Bowl.
I say so. Well, yes.
Of course, that's every year, but
but I guess a better question would be who do you kind of see as what would be your I guess, prediction as far as something that's not expected to happen that will happen. I'll put it this way. I think the Colts can be really good this year with Matty Ice at quarterback. I think Matt Ryan could have like a resurgence of, I don't know about career, but he can have a huge year. I mean, they showed out with Phillip Rivers, and Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Fame quarterback, but I don't know. I could see the Colts doing some big stuff with Matt Ryan at quarterback. That would be kind of my surprise dark horse type of team. I could see the Jags will obviously be better, but that's not saying a whole lot. But the new coaching staff in there, they've finally put some pieces around Trevor Lawrence where it's not just atrociously the worst team and the worst roster in the league. So I can see Trevor Lawrence having I wouldn't say a breakout year, but he could surprise some people this year. I mean, I say surprise. I mean, he's the number one pick. He's a highly touted quarterback coming out of college. So I don't know how big of a surprise it would be, but I can see the Jags kind of coming in and making some noise, winning some games, maybe 7, so 6, 7 games. They have some
more
better
along the
pieces.
lines of like 6, but
yeah. I mean, you're not going on a limb with 6. That's probably what they're predicted to win. I'm going on a limb with 7 by that one extra game.
That one extra game.
Yeah, so I'm really going out on a limb there. But Matt Ryan and the Colts, I could see them making some noise this year. It'd be interesting to see.
What about Russell Wilson? Oh, dangerous. And the Broncos.
I mean, the Broncos are primed to have a good season, though. I mean, they were a quarterback away. Like, that's the thing. And then they went and got a quarterback.
Would you say that Arizona's primed to be there, primed to be good?
I think Kyler will be better.
You think they make the playoffs?
I think they make the playoffs, yeah.
I don't.
You don't think they make the playoffs?
Nope.
I think Kyler will be better. And I hope Cliff will be better. But that's the thing. People kind of figure out Cliff Kingsbury by the end of the year. It's like the next time around, it's like he just stays. It's like, I mean, I obviously can't speak for the guy, but other teams are figuring him out. There's a pattern of this. It's a pattern of his team's not playing well at the end of the year.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's lack of preparation.
All the way back to his college days.
Yes, I mean, it's a clear pattern. So, well, so who's in the division? Rams. You got Rams, Cardinals, 49ers, Seahawks. That all the same division, is that right? NFC West. I think it's safe to say the Seahawks are not going to make it.
Yeah, man, yeah. Who knows?
Who's even starting? Is it Geno Smith or Drew Lock?
I was about to ask you. It's I don't know. I've been hearing Lock, but I think those are like joke tweets. But who knows?
I would rather have Drew Lock than Geno Smith, I would think. I've seen enough from Geno to know what I'm going to get. I did see Geno play when I was in Chicago last year. Like my first night there, we go out to eat and we're at this Irish pub, and and this was like right before. I guess this might have been the game that Russell Wilson got hurt. I don't even know, because I was like, that doesn't look like Russell Wilson. Like, who is that? And I just see Smith, and then I saw his face finally. I was like, oh, that's Geno Smith. Oh, so that's where he is. They're wearing the tennis ball like unis,
Yeah.
Very, very bright neon green. Tennis ball green. That's how I refer to it. I don't know if that's the technical color, but it should be. We'll stick with football. College football is coming up here, in a couple of weeks? 2.5 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Wow.
probably 2 weeks. There's probably gonna be some early kickoff games. So
there will be a Thursday game for sure.
Wasn't last year there was a Tuesday game,
and that's probably how it'll be this year. Somebody said something was like it was 11 days, and I got that like yesterday. So I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna. I don't know who's playing, but I'm definitely interested.
Does not matter.
Yeah. We got any early college football playoff predictions? 4 teams in. Mine
4
are
teams in. Nah, shit.
I'll say whoever the top 4 is, which has got it, and I'll do the seeding. I'll say Alabama, Ohio State, 1, 2 seeds. I'll say Georgia will get in as a 3. It'll be 2 SEC teams again. And just by default, okay. See, I would say Notre Dame, but they're playing Ohio State week 1, I believe, which is a huge game. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What a way to kick off the college football season. But since they're playing Ohio State, I'm going to go with Clemson. Just because I don't see anybody doing anything in the Big 12. Maybe Baylor. I don't know, but they didn't even really impress like they had been last year. They had a good year, but it wasn't like they've been. I mean, they kind of been threats to get in the playoff.
Playoffs.
But I'll say Clemson, but I don't even really believe that, and I follow Clemson football fairly well. I don't, yeah. I'll say Clemson as the 4, but I don't even have faith in that. That's my way too early college football playoff prediction. Do you see anyone else getting in besides like Clemson? Because I'm sure you probably have the same top 3 in, right? Along with everybody else.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to say Notre Dame, but maybe Utah. But
now, yeah, they're up there. But being in the Pac-12, they'll lose a game or 2, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Possibly. I don't know. Pac-12 is not going to get any love though from the committee, nor should they. Playing the Oregon states of the world and all that. And I mean, they got some teams. I mean, Stanford's always tough and all that, but they're not going to get any attention from the playoff committee. But you would throw Notre Dame in there over Clemson with their week 1 matchup. They have to play Ohio
it's week
State.
1. Dude, it's week 1, man.
They have to play Ohio State.
By week 9, nobody cares about, oh, that's week 1, man. We'll give them pass. Oh, and they played the top matchup. Dude, it's all yeah.
That's true.
It can happen.
Like Clemson played Georgia in week 1, and it was a good game. It was just nothing but defense. Clemson's offense did nothing. Like the game was decided on a pick 6. Like that's how the game was last year. Because I watched the thing from start to finish. But I'll say Clemson. I'll say Clemson will get in because Clemson had a down year last year and they were 10-3. Like that's the culture Dabo has built there. He's turned them into a top tier program. Not everybody kind of digs the kind of silly side of things with the gritty he does and the kind of goofy videos, but trying to be, I don't even know what you'd call it, hip. I mean, see, I think he just does it as a joke, but people take it as he's being serious.
His name's Dabo. I mean, he doesn't have to be serious.
Yeah. Like I said, people are always, I think, see it and like, oh, look at him, he's trying so hard or something. Like, I think he's just doing it as a kick, just to entertain his players. Like, I don't think he's thinking, man, this is gonna go viral. I'm gonna look dope doing this,
What would you do if Saban busted out the gritty?
Wow.
He's done it for a recruit. He has. A recruit's asked him.
The gritty? No, I don't see him doing that.
Dude,
I've seen him like dancing.
He's danced. Yeah. If he dances, I bet he does I bet he would do a gritty. If it was a 5-star that he was in, that he had driven 3 hours, sit in the living room, I think he would do it. Just he'd be sure no cameras were around.
He might. That would be a really weird request though from the like that like that's the deciding factor. How I choose my school is if who does the best gritty. Like that's the only way I'll decide because it's all everything. I love the campuses. I love the staff. Everything's pretty comparable facilities wise. Distance isn't really an issue for me. But the one thing that'll decide it, and just this is my flipping a coin here. Whatever coach does the best gritty, that's where I'm gonna go. Now, if you're the best player in the, I don't know. I wouldn't put anything about past like young kids. Young. I won't even say young kids today. I remember guys like our age that were getting highly recruited, how big their heads were and the stuff they would do in the press conference or the signing day. Like it was stupid. It was stupid then. Like everybody, they all do the same thing. Like I'm gonna pick. I got all these heads. Oh, I'm gonna pick this one. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. And they all have their own way of getting rid of it. It's
Yeah.
dumb. Just pick the hat that you're going to and put it on. This
I,
is where
I
I'm going.
I like the tweets like all my offers, and it's just like 50 schools. Like you can like
Yes.
barely make out the schools. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let us know when you narrowed it down to like 10 or something,
Yeah, I was
man.
like, I narrowed it down to 32, and it's just got all the the little logos down to 8. All right, well, just let us know where you're going. Like I don't know, recruiting's goofy, and the people that follow
Oh,
recruiting are kind of goofy.
what do you think about the LSU quarterback who got all the NIL deals and just walked away from football?
Yeah, I did see that. I saw that he was walking away. I didn't know he got a lot of deals, but that's kind of funny.
Yeah,
He's
he
just
had
like,
it.
yeah, I'm done. I guess he realized Brian Kelly's a little tougher to play for than Ed Orgeron.
Yeah, but he only have to give any of that money back. He gets to keep it all,
Well, that's good. I mean, for him,
even
I
though he's
guess
even though he's not gonna ever play it down.
not for the NIL people, but yeah. All right. Well, we'll end on this. Bill Russell's number 6 is to be retired across the league in the NBA. Now, I can't remember what they call it. The players that are already wearing it, they get to continue to wear it. Uh, I can't remember the name, what they called it, but they get to continue to wear it up until they retire, and then after that, nobody else will wear number 6. What are I mean, that's if you're going to do that for somebody, Bill Russell's the guy to do it for.
For sure.
Yes. I've never been real big on retiring numbers though, because it's like the
No.
Yankees, they have all these numbers retired. It's to the point that like whatever Aaron Judge's number is now, like guys are going to be wearing like 77s and it's like you're going to have the number 77 out there playing baseball. And I mean the game's just going to go on and on and on. So you're going to
They'll
eventually all the good numbers are gone.
they'll switch to letters.
Well, they'll have to at this pace.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I don't know, but if you're going to do it for somebody, do it for Bill Russell. I get it. The greatest champion the league has ever seen. So yeah, if you're going to do it for somebody, do it for him, sure. But we're out of time, man. So we're gonna get out of here.
Dang.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun, right? But until then, this is
What
Grand
they
Pal.
say.
Yep, episode 43 next week. I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
come up with
I'm
a
Bradley
name.
Brown. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, I know. I'll figure it out by next Tuesday. Later, y'all.
I hope so.